Hello everybody. I wanted to do one quick video on how grading is done and how that works in the gradebook. So let's first of all look at the first way how grading is done. Let's go ahead and go to our assignment. So each week we have a couple of things. Usually we have what's called a benchmark, a guide, and a quiz. Let's first go over how benchmarks and guides are graded. So I'm just going to go ahead and click this benchmark. And I am going to go ahead and open this up. So benchmarks are basically just homework assignments, and they have all sorts of different questions. Sometimes they're grouped together in different types of sections. So this one's called section of types of data. This one's called section on vocab. This one is on sampling. So let's look at this sampling question. So question 13 has all of these multiple choice questions, and I'm just going to go down and just randomly answer those ones, and I am going to submit this question. So let's click submit. And notice how it shows me which ones I got right. So I got the first one right, I got the next three wrong, and I had a partial credit on the last one. So if I want to go through and do this, I can actually just change answers on the ones that I missed, and I could submit again, and look like I did a little bit better. And I can do this a couple more times. Let's see if I try one more. And we'll submit this question, and it looks like that I did kind of worse on this one. Anyhow, notice how even when I did it, kind of my points went down. Each time you do a problem, you don't get all of the points back. So let me show you one that's kind of a little bit easier to do this. So for this question number 15, let's just click this first one, and we'll say submit. Oh shoot, I got it right, darn it. Okay, let's go down to this next one. Sorry. Let's click leading question. I want to click submit. Oh, darn. Okay, let's go to the next one, survivorship. Okay, here, so I got this one wrong, where it was 0 out of 1. Now, if I go to another one and I click submit, let's say this non-response bias, let's click submit. Okay, so I got that one wrong, and then it says a study on the effectiveness of a particular test. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, so this is like a leading question bias, and I'll click submit. Okay, notice how my points went down a little bit each time. And that's what happens is you get a certain percentage knockdown for each try that you get. But if I want to get a similar question, just try it again. I can click similar question, and then it says, okay, survey asked about car preferences, about auto mechanics, employed at brand dealerships, which brand quality, but many respondents provide inaccurate and untruthful due to brand loyalty. This would be, I don't know, probably some sort of response bias. I'd have to actually go and look at this one. We'll click response bias, and notice how I got 100% on this one. So if you work on a problem for a while, it dings you just a little bit on each time you submit it. But if you're willing to redo it, you can get 100%. Anyhow, so if you want, you can do this over again as many times as you want until you get the grade that you want. So it is totally possible on both the benchmarks and the guides to get 100%, and you can try over and over again, like this one where we were working on. You can click get similar question, and you can start all over. You can do as many times as you want until the due date. Let's go back and to our home page. Let's look at how quizzes are done. Quizzes are graded a little bit differently. Let's go ahead and click on this quiz. And we can say that here in this quiz, so look, I made one attempt at this quiz and I got 33%. And notice here, it's a little small, but it says, hey, you can take this assessment 2 more times, but you have to take the entire assessment again. And it says the highest attempt will be recorded, but there is a penalty of 7% on the next retake. So this next time, the best that I could get is a 93%. And then the next time it'll take another 7% away until the best that you could do on that third attempt is an 86. So let's go ahead and do just like a retake. I could go through, I could answer all of these again, and I could submit. But when you do your quizzes, you can't just submit a single question. You have to redo the entire problem. So that's how benchmarks and quizzes are done. So benchmarks and guides, you can do as many times as you want, question by question. Quizzes, you've got 3 attempts on the quiz. And each attempt you lose just a little bit of points each time. So it really kind of encourages you to do really well on the first time. And then exams, how exams are graded, it's just a single attempt that you get on them. And so that's how the grades are done.